I was camping with my husband and his family at a small remote lake in New Mexico. There were about 10 people in our group and another group of 6 people in the next campsite. It was night time, and both groups were doing typical activities, making s'mores, having a few drinks, and telling stories, when we all heard what sounded like a little girl yelling out for help. Neither group had children with them, but we were all positive we were hearing a little girl and decided to search the area. We heard of noises from together. There was a field behind our campsite, and we all saw a very tall, pure white figure standing maybe 10 feet away from us in the field making the noises. We all agreed this thinking looked maybe 6 feet tall, skinny and white as it can be. We made our way closer to investing, but whatever it was that we saw started backing off as we got closer, and it disappeared into the trees. All night we continued to hear a little girl calling for help as we tried to sleep. My parents and I got lost in the Grand Gulch for 2 days. On the tail end of a 5-day trip we were exiting the canyon. The road seemed a lot more difficult than we expected. We knew there would be a faint trail if any, but once we crested the rim we found out we were way off course. Knowing the general direction we needed to head, we started walking and conserving water as much as we could, having left with the multitude of water pockets in the canyon below us. Slept that night under a pinyon pine and shared our lost couple power bars, hoping to find some sources of water the next day in the open desert. After a few miles the next morning we finally came upon a fine road that became more pronounced as we went on. This road brought some good feelings, knowing we stashed a shaded bike for someone to ride the last 8 or so miles to the van. Finally we got the bike catcher and my stepdad hopping on as a rainstorm started rolling in. After half an hour or so turned to full downpour, which was great because we were thirsty as fuck. After walking what felt like an eternity and wondering where our damn ride was, we walked upon the primary as empty. Other than our van parking lot, we see my stepdad turning foot in the trying to get the damn thing started. At that battery he ended up riding 4 mad other 6 miles to get highway to try to flag someone down. Ended up catching the eye of a range out patrolling who got us down and took us in to blending UAT while we got that bastard of a van running again. That felt like a lot of 11 years old me.